Hello, hello, beautiful people. How are you all doing? I hope you're all doing wonderful. And today I have a super juicy topic to talk about shadows. So stick around. And if you're new here, my name is Amanda. And here we talk about, if you guys know my story, I went from being super burnt out, super high achiever, which I still have high standards, but I'm learning how to also enjoy the more laid back side of me as well, because you can't enjoy your success if you're always in high achiever mode. So let's get right into it. So if I'm looking down, it's because of my notes, and if you hear sounds, it's because I'm outside. It is so gorgeous today. Okay. So what is a shadow? Well, a shadow is like the parts of you that you're repressing. And our dark shadows are the sides of us that we don't want anybody to see. It's like that greedy part of us or the lazy part of us if we're a high achiever. Those are our shadows. And the outer world is a reflection of our inner world. So the world is always mirroring back to us what we're putting out. Because, it is so hard to see ourselves. It's like we can see other people, we can judge them, but when it comes to ourselves, that's when it becomes difficult, doesn't it? But it's also really easy because whatever is around you is because that is what we have created for ourselves. So it is something to think about. And so today, talking about our dark shadows are the sides of us we don't want anybody knowing about. Those are the things that we try to hide. But we know that repressing any part of ourselves is not good. Because the more you try to keep something in the dark, the more it fights to be seen. It's like when you're in a pool and you're trying to hold down all these pool balls that are bouncing on top, and you're trying to hold all these things down. Well, they're going to keep popping back up. And that's what happens with our shadows. The things we keep trying to hide, they show up at the most inopportune times. So for examples, someone who prides themselves on not being a liar and gets super mad at someone who lies or just lies a little bit, that is their shadow. That's their part they're trying to hide, is of being a liar. And the problem with that is they will lie at the most inopportune time. It will just be the biggest lie ever, and it could destroy their relationships or everything because they're not keeping an eye on it, because they're like, no, I don't lie. You see what I mean? Or the good mom is the one that's caught drunk driving with her kids in the car. Or another example is if you're brought up super religious in a sense, which is good, but a lot of times we can repress certain parts of ourselves by being I don't know if you know where I'm going with this, but we can repress those certain parts of ourselves, and that's why the pastor's kid is always in huge trouble and doing all the things. You know what I mean? So another shadow is for us high achievers. A shadow for us is we repress the lazy part of us, the part of us that rests. We try to hide that part of us. We don't want anybody to see it. And so that part that can enjoy our success no longer exists because we're so much in high achiever mode. So we all have a lower and a higher self of consciousness. So we have our lower self, our human self, and we have our higher self, which is our spiritual self. And so all these things, say greediness could be a shadow, or being a liar, or all these things. And we try to repress them. And it is not good, because then we keep them in the dark and they just show up, like we talked about. So where I was going with that is, let me find the quote that I wanted to say. So we're not human, let me get this right. I forget who said it, but we are not just human beings. We are spiritual beings having a human existence. So we do have the higher part of us. And like Debbie Ford said, that all the qualities we see in others that we admire, those qualities are also in us. That's why we see them. But all the bad qualities in others, those are also all in us. So we just have to accept that, yes, I can lie. I have lied. And I can be greedy. Yes, I see all those sides of me. And once you accept seeing those sides of you, then they're out in the open and you can keep an eye on them. Because otherwise, that's why you see these big pastors or certain things. They'll be caught in like a child scandal. You know what I mean? That type of thing. It's because they repress that part of them to being like, no, I'm way too religious for that. And that's what gets them. So I hope you see what I mean. And my hand is shaking now that it's kind of a longer video. But I have some journal prompts for you. So, who is the person you'd rather not be? Journal for 15 minutes on that. Those would be your shadows. Or I have an even better question. What are the things that you really pride yourself about? What are your best traits? Like if you asked me, it would be, oh yes, I'm a high achiever. I work hard. I do all these things. So write them down. Pause this video, write them down. I'm serious. Okay. The opposites of those are your shadows. So just it's just an interesting thing, isn't it? And then another journal prompt is, anyways, I can't think of another one. I had it written down and now I can't find it. But just really think about maybe just being more aware and working through our shadows so we can become healthier versions of ourselves that work hard but also enjoy life. You know what I mean? So I hope this was helpful for you ladies, and if it was, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!